And let's go over the syllabus. All right, so a couple of things that I'm going to go over from the syllabus. Pretty straightforward. So this is your physical science class. All right, the most important stuff on the syllabus is going to be my name. Is it Kenan or is it Keenan? That's what the debate is. Most of you guys, for whatever reason that I don't understand, call me Keenan. It's not Keenan, it's Kenan. For it to be Keenan, there has to be two E's, not a single E. Up until 20 years ago, I used to be Kenan, and 20 years, and then all of a sudden I went from Kenan to Keenan because the Saturday Night Live actor was got the same spelling of his name, except for whatever reason, somebody didn't realize that there was an E missing somewhere. And then they mistakenly kept calling himself Keenan for whatever reason. And then people thought that that was the proper pronunciation. It's not. I'm half Turkish, half Irish. Turkish side calls me Kenan. I call myself Kenan. And most people usually call me Kenan. And I respond to Keenan because for whatever reason, after a while, I get tired of correcting people. All right, so if you know how to read, it's Kenan. If you don't know how to read, it's Keenan. Either way, I'll respond to both. All right, the Irish side calls me Keenan whenever they're half drunk, so either way, it works out. Stay the hell away from my last name. Most of you guys pronounce that as Kaymaz. Number one, it's Turkish, and we have the same alphabet, give and take. We got extra letters in Turkish. C is pronounced as J. I don't expect you guys to actually remember that. And most of you guys pronounce it as K, and when you pronounce it as K, it means it becomes Kaymaz. And Kaymaz means friction man in Turkish. It's not sexy, I don't like it. Superman, awesome. Spider-Man, awesome. Batman, awesome. Friction Man, I don't think so. In terms of titles, got a master's degree in physics, PhD, ABD, which means that I'm only a dissertation away from getting my PhD. Until I get my PhD, the title doctor is not applicable. I'm not your teacher. Don't call me teach. What I do has nothing to do with teaching. This is called lecturing. You can teach knowledge. You cannot teach understanding. College education is all about understanding stuff. All right, so you don't need to use titles. Just call me Kenan, and that's good enough. All right, don't use the last name. Don't use the last name under any circumstances. All right, so having said that, let's get back to the syllabus itself. Syllabus is still work in progress. Okay, this is not the right one. Let's move on to the right one. Okay, still not the right one. All right, I think yours is here. All right. So the lectures will start at 9:35. I'm not sure if every single day the lectures are ending at 2:30. That's just too much lecturing in reality. So I have to go back and check the schedule on that one. I don't have a book for you guys. It says astronomy. Obviously, this should be physical science. So I don't have a physical science book. You will have to use my lecture materials. Now, a lot of the lecture stuff that you guys are seeing is originally prepared for art students, so it's going to be highly visual, mostly conceptual. There's going to be very little amount of math. The amount of math that we've been doing so far is going to eventually vanish. All your grades will come from the test. So the test will have two components. We will have 10 multiple choice tests. We will have multiple choice tests that have 10 questions. Each multiple choice test is going to have 10 multiple choice questions. And then we will have 5 short essay question tests. Okay, so which means that each and every single test is going to have 5 short essay questions. Essay questions are a little bit tricky. All right, they require very good conceptual understanding of the concept. Okay, the grading scale is a standard grading scale, except I do not curve under any circumstances. For you to be able to transfer out, you need to get C or better. This course is a little bit tricky. This course is going to require some work. A lot of the work is going to be done in class, so you really have to show up for the lectures and you really have to pay attention. Not a big deal if you find yourself failing tests here and there. That's perfectly fine. That's expected because this is a critical thinking course. Critical thinking is a skill that you develop throughout the course. So that's the way it's going to be. If you fail a test, there will be upgrade tests, and I'm going to make the upgrade test available on Saturdays during the day for about 12 hours, which means that you will take the test. If you fail a test, not a big deal, just upgrade it to a passing grade, which means that you will get to redo the test, or a test which is very similar to the one that you've taken and failed. And the only thing you have to do is score 70% or better on it. If you score 70% or better on it, I will give you a passing grade, which is a 70%. All right, so that's the game that we will get to play. All right, every single lecture is going to start with a pre-lecture quiz. This is a review quiz. All right, so the first 10 minutes of the lecture, that's what you're going to be doing. There will be 5 questions that you will go over. Every single lecture is going to end with a participation quiz, which is started or about to start. Once again, 5 questions. Pre-lecture quizzes are extra credit. Participation quizzes, if your average is better than your lowest test grade, is going to replace it. All right, guys, so the next thing that you need to do at this point is just go to the quiz section. It says quizzes here. Just click on it. All right, when you click on it, notice that it says participation 6120. Okay, so just take care of that stuff. You got 10 minutes. If you have any questions, just stick around. If you don't have any questions, I'll see you guys tomorrow.